Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today I'll be reviewing Ballad of a Small Planet. The movie stars Colin, Farrell, Fala, Chen, and Winter. So Lord Doyle is a high-stakes gambler who's got himself into a lot of debt, and he's trying to make up for his past while it's catching up to him. So we're going to get into the review today. I'm going to start us off, and for me, this was an interesting film, but a bit of a mixed bag. I think the things that worked for me were the way that they make Baccarat look so interesting for such a seemingly boring game that Casino Royale chose to change it to poker. So it was, for me, the moments in the film where they're at the table, they're playing Baccarat, they explain the rules simple enough that I was involved in it. And there's a scene in the latter part of the film where I was all in. I was just so wanting the outcome that ended up happening. So I thoroughly enjoyed the way that they made that scene fast paced. I think that Colin Farrell did a really good job. It's really character driven. It's the Colin Farrell show in terms of the acting. It's his story. We're seeing him at his lowest low and then, getting to his highest high. But for me, the soundtrack was something that let this film down. I didn't really link it too much to the film. It's a really good soundtrack, but it was a soundtrack that unfortunately for me didn't really give the vibes that I think the film was trying to go for. The Macau-esque nature of it, if you were told it was Macau, I think you would off the cup think you're in Vegas because that's just the kind of look that it had. They didn't really have too much of the Asian experience at least the start part of the film when you're in the casinos. It was more in the act 2 section. But overall, it was still an interesting film. It just what I expected from this director, seeing films like Conclave, All Quiet on the Western Front, I was expecting a bit more. So the camera angles and things like that were a bit jarring for me. They kind of didn't fit. It was like two films that were put together in terms of the camera styles, but I still came out of it enjoying it. I mean, Fala Chin, the kind of deus ex machina of the film that kind of helped solve all these problems was, for me, great acting, interesting chemistry with Colin Farrell because it's kind of a love interest, but at the same time, it's a means to an end and a ghost that it's very complicated, but when you watch the film, makes sense. So overall, it was enjoyable, but I think there was still room for improvement. Camera? Yeah, I have to agree with John with most stuff, but I actually really enjoyed the soundtrack. I thought the score for me was bold and exciting and fun. But I can see how you probably can't align it with the movie, but I actually enjoyed that aspect of it. I mean, Colin Farrell did a great job. I think the acting was superb. I liked the Macau setting. I thought it was different enough as opposed to you. I mean, any casino you're going to relate it to Vegas, but this did look different. Yeah, the story, I really enjoyed the superstitious and the supernatural aspects that this movie gave me. I didn't expect that at all. And I mean, the middle part seemed to drag for me, but it all comes full circle at the end when they're explaining it. So it didn't bother me too much by the end of it, but it was a bit of a struggle to get through that. But I mean, and John, like John said, the last deal that and the last game that he plays was, well, my heart was pounding. You're really riding that pan that he's got, and they did it perfectly. The way it was shot, like John said, the way it was scripted, everything was done really well to make me actually care so much for him. And yeah, the Lord Doyle character, I mean, they did a great job because by the end of it, I was really rooting for him. But he's really this flawed character, and you shouldn't like him. But I somehow was still rooting for him, so I thought that was a good aspect to this movie. But like I said, it does drag in the middle, but because the ending, it helps. It helps. Now thinking about it, it's a good movie for me. But yeah, pretty good. Me? Also, I guess I'm sitting on the opposite end here. So this movie is what I would call shadow or substance completely. It's very stylistic, and I like them bit, but the substance is like, yeah, the movie is shot very good. I love the Macau setting, like Cameron. Music, I'm with John here.
The music is good, but doesn't fit the movie. Now, for me, there were only four things in the movie. Where it was Colin Farrell dumbly, Colin Farrell drowning, Colin Farrell waking up, and yes, eating. The way he was eating, it was really pissing me off for some reason. But yeah, so these was only the substance I've found in the movie. Is I think it's really good. What he's doing is really good, but all he's doing is drowning and waking up, and all there was literally I found no substance in this movie. He's a flawed character, and I don't root for him at all. Like I don't care if he loses, if he died, he's gonna jump off the building. I didn't care at all. The only character was bit. I thought she would fashion Chen. I think she was fine, but she was bad in the movie. Tilda Swinton looked so strange for some reason. I love Tilda Swinton, but the character she had it, don't care. Whatever happens again, I don't care. I didn't. I actually like the thread of the movie, but the outcome of the movie, I was so surprised that this movie is little trash for me. I couldn't hate to say the word, but it is like there is like so many things. Like the storyline. I don't know why they focus so much on the camera work and all that things, but all there is, like I said, gambling, waking up, crowning. That's it. That's it. The super. I would do say the end was bit fine, and the games it shows was boring as hell as well. So I could see why Kevin like this superstitious thing, but in the hindsight of things, I think it just like doesn't make any sense. It's just boring.
So it is a boring game, I must admit.
The game is very boring, but all they do is checks it.
But at the same time, like took a boring game, at least for me. When I'm watching the film,
Yeah,
I was enthralled, and the more it went on, there's a bit where he gets like on a winning streak, and like the energy from them, and probably not so much the actual card play, but just the energy from them winning was what kind of just got me energized. And then there's the one big bet, and that was just for me. That was our favorite scene of the film, the hands down best scene. But yeah, seeing him, I guess, unravel and re-ravel and unravel and re-ravel. I can see what you mean about the whole cycle of,
yeah, that's what it was. So I could agree that part was fine. Yeah, but then what they revealed, oh, what happened with him? What's on his shoulder? I don't want to reveal what is there, but I was like, why are we going there? Then they went there. I was like, fine, if you're gonna go there, go there. So I like the very end. What happens? I think that was good, but whatever happened before, I just go.
and yeah, but the if I was to explain the soundtrack, I would say the soundtrack is like an episode of Succession, but the film is is shot kind of like The Substance with casinos. They're two things that just don't really fit together because it's just very like classical, high strung music. I I think for me, I would have at least like some kind of Asian influence in there, kind of like Crazy Rich Asians, or it has that kind of I don't know how to say it, but Asianifying Western music and try and merge the two together. I would have preferred that for the soundtrack, but yeah, I think Tilda Swinton character, she was interesting, but at the same time, like she's only in it a couple of scenes.
But didn't she look really odd?
She looked like a character from Okja. I don't know if you've seen that film before,
I'm not.
but she's just I don't know. She always looks weird in films, but yeah, grandma character was interesting. That's kind of how it links to the supernatural, I would say, and that's a nice way to bookend the film. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just the subtle things that they did. Like you hear the creaking every now and then. I really just did appreciate that did when they did the supernatural route. Like they really delved deep and did the minor things so well. So that's why I really enjoyed it for that because it just caught me off guard really, and just I didn't expect it at all from this movie. So that's why I probably enjoyed it a bit more than Moon say. All right, guys, big last scores. Yep. Moon, how many packet chips out of 10? I'll go 4.5 poker chips out of 10.
John, I'm going to give it 7.75 proven chips out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it 8 pre chips out of 10. All right, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, check out our socials, and we'll catch you next one. Ciao.